We're on. Whew, panic conditions. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday evening. It's a midweek gin and tonic. Who doesn't like that? Find me someone that doesn't like a midweek gin and tonic. I don't think there is anybody. If they are, they're certainly not watching this. So hello, good evening. We're here this evening. What brings us here together today in this beautiful ceremony of gin and chat is we're chatting to the lovely Ian Russel from Three Bellies Gin. I think Three Bellies Gin, Three Bellies Distillery, because he might have more stuff. It might not just be gin, I don't know. Up in Lancashire. So if you're on, say hi, tell us what you are sipping. If you are having a little sip, is it too early for you? Are you saving yourself for the weekend? What are you doing? Streaming live on all our Sip and Shares pages and on YouTube. Not long till the kids go back to school, folks. Not long. Oh, yes. Hi, Wendy. Good evening. Hello. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Got this one. I need to check the lighting. There we go. There's one. There's another one as well. So, and there's the other one. I'm going to drop it. Right. So both of these are on the shop, on the members only Sip and Share shop. Try saying that after a double. I nearly said treble then, but that's uncouth and I'd never do that. I'd just go straight for free pour gin and tonic. And let's meet, hi Karen, let's meet the lovely Ian. Hi Ian.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Good.
About to pour one of your gin and tonics.
Well, I've poured one of yours.
You've got your gin vaccine from Sip and Share lined up.
Yeah, so I've got gin one. I taste mine regularly, so I was happy to have a go at yours tonight.
Hey, maybe one day you could make one for Sip and Share.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I think it'll have to be double 88 or triple 88 after Three Bellies. I think there would have to be, would it? Mind you, that's a betting company, so we probably wouldn't get away with that, would we?
Oh yeah, let's not mix alcohol.
No.
Go there. Which one? I'm gonna let you choose. Which one shall I pour? And then what I pour. Let's start there in our chatter. There we go. Which one should I go? Cloud?
What kind of mood? What kind of mood are you in?
I'm in a good mood, which is awesome. I tell you what, I absolutely love this.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know this gin. I feel like I like you. You're one that I forget how good you are until I drink you again. I don't feel like I know this one very well.
Yeah. So I think first thing to say is, both of them are based around very similar principles. I've tried to go. When we started, I tried to go with something that was very, very drinkable, if you know what I mean. I mean something which could be really nice in a very plain, like I do, a really plain, ordinary gin and tonic, but you could kind of take it in different directions. So it was a really nice base for a gin and tonic, or a good base for a cocktail, and then depending on what you want to do with tonics and garnishes or various other things. And then that's the base. So it's based around a lot of different citrus peels, so in the kind of Spanish style with a little twist. And then the cloud, there's two things that are probably bigger difference. There's a few little more spicy things in the cloud, but still very citrusy.
I'm doing this one.
Yeah.
Because I need to know what I'm drinking, because all the and what I'm doing is I'm not focusing on you at all.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fine.
About my own drink, which is very selfish. Yeah. So I'm going to pour one. Carry on. Tell me.
Very good. And with the cloud, there's two things about it. It's a little bit more spicy, so you'll find that a bit harsher on the tongue just towards the end. But the other thing we do with that is we don't filter it. So depending on the strength that you pour and how cold your ice is, you'll get a little bit of cloudiness. People were expecting it to be sort of really, I don't know how to say it, totally sort of opaque. And the cloud comes from it can appear cloudy in some drinks, it can't in others, but it's because it's unfiltered, and we didn't want to filter it, because I feel. I personally feel that if you get a little bit of cloudiness, you even get a little bit of botanicals that have sipped through the still, it just kind of adds to it. So it's I think a slightly more acquired taste, but you can if you look at its older brother, you can definitely feel the same things in there. But I think the one bigger difference is that we up the content of juniper, but also we put something which I really like in as with the juniper, if you like, its cousin, which would be hawthorn as well. And I have also this idea in my head that I haven't done it yet, that I want to try making something just with hawthorn rather than juniper and see where that goes. I really like it, and but again, it's not quite to everybody's taste. So
is there hawthorn in? So how would you describe this one? Because I always describe this as quite peppery, and I think this one is like more so.
Yeah. So you'll get the pink pepper. You'll find that one. I think that's one you'll get at the Three Bellies in the end. There is actually less pink pepper and actually a couple of other peppers within Three Bellies, but the ratio of citrus peels remains the same. But there's a few other things that there, and then the bitterness of juniper, when you put a little bit of hawthorn in, just kind of flattens that off, so it gets a little bit of softness to it. I would say that's how I tried to explain it. So you get that peppery bit at the end, but it's not really harsh like some. I don't think. I actually quite like spicy ones, and the thing that actually started inspiring me to think about making gin was a few years ago when I went to a gin festival. I actually heard a talk from the lady from Greenhalgh's who created Afia, which actually gets a bad rap. I know I did, but actually, and you could see what she did with peppers. I really like. Actually, I love that kind of style. So you can see where that influence comes from. Super smart lady. I've forgotten the lady's name. I'm really sorry if she's listening. But obviously, very, very talented, very talented lady. And and that's kind of. I'd been playing around trying to make gin, but that's really what kind of got me going. Having gone to that talk and listening and being from the chemical industry and a chemist by background, I thought, I could do that. So that's kind of how it started.
Tell us about where and when this started. You just said you're a chemist by background. I'm always really interested. I know the members are as well.
So this, I mean, probably the journey, Kate, started, I think, 7-8 years ago when a friend of ours invited us along to the gin festival in Manchester. I don't know if you've ever been, the one that was at Victoria Baths, which is a beautiful building, and it's become a bit of a cultural thing. It's around every Easter, obviously not last year, and I loved it. I'd been going to beer festivals for a while, but I'd never been to a gin festival. But it was music and everything, and after a while, when you've been to a gin festival, as you'll know, you kind of have to slow down a little bit. It's not like going to a beer festival where you can carry on drinking. You think, and in some of the side Turkish bathrooms, there were some demonstrations or whatever, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have a bit of a break and walk into one of these, and I sat down listening to the people from Greenhalgh's talking about craft distilling and Afia, and I just thought, okay, I could do that. And I talked about it for a while and said, with friends afterwards when we were drunk, I can definitely do that. And then of course, like lots of things with me, nothing happened, and my wife bought me a small lab-sized still for Christmas, and she also bought me a sort of day's training session at Manchester Distillery if everybody gets a chance, which was 6 years ago. So from that, I started making my own gin, and people were enjoying it. And then I just made bottles for friends. It got to a stage where I had a fair amount. I was just giving it away, but from my small 1 litre still. And then just a year ago, when lockdown started, I went to pick up my son who was going to lock down with us. So on the drive back from London in the middle of the night, because we thought he wouldn't be allowed to leave London at all, so I better drive in the middle of the night. We talked about it, and he said, why don't we start this business? We're going to be locked down for a few weeks. Why don't we actually do this? So the few weeks turned into obviously a few months, but over that 2 or 3 months, we built a small still in the back garden, like typically like you see in somebody's shed, and then we started, right, okay, well, we've done that bit, what do we do with the rest? And of course, the things that I never expected to take time are the things that took time. So I have to say, HMRC I thought would be a nightmare. And I think possibly because it was lockdown, it took a while to understand the paperwork. but maybe because of lockdown, they were actually really super supportive, I have to say. And you could do all your visits just with your phone and showing them what you've done, and and I think they do some financial checks around you that you're going to pay your duties or prepay your duties and your business plan. But it started from there, and I think we're coming up to July when we really had our first commercial quantities that we started selling. And my idea, and still is my idea, I love going to these festivals and farmers markets, and we wanted to do that as this additional hobby, and that's still the plan. But that took a side things when those things disappeared and stopped. So we started to go around to the restaurants and bars while they were still open in around Lancashire and the northwest, and a few in London where my son's now is still back based. And that's how we've started, and it all went from there.
So a journey back from London. Oh, Dad, what are you going to do for the next 4 to 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Off school, they're not, everyone's at home. Have you got a still that you've been messing around with at home for a little while? Yes, I have. Okay.
Yeah. So why don't we? Yeah. So we had all that boxed up and created a bigger one that I bought that I'd done nothing with, and it kind of just spurred me into it, and that's exactly what we did. And I think the best part about it is not what I've made, and I still can't believe people drink it. I mean, it's still weird when I see, I see one. There's the big pub quiz that 100,000 people there, and the guy's got a bottle in the back of his pub quiz thing, and there's stuff like that. You just think that's weird. We created that. But the best thing is actually doing something with my son. Since we kind of used to do football together and that, his son in the early 20s, and that's been a challenge as well for him and me, because I realize he's now a young man. He's not a kid anymore, and actually he's got a mind of his own and an opinion of his own. But actually that's been the nicest thing about the whole thing. We suddenly bonded, and then my wife, she's been doing the few farmers markets we did together. She's involved. My daughter, who's in Dubai, is desperate for me to get an export license, but she's been putting the stuff on Instagram, which was new to me. My son's banned me from social media because I can't spell, because that's the industry that he's in his full-time job. So it's been fun, and it's the one thing that this year has really given us that I've loved, and we've been lucky to do it, really.
Oh, that's amazing! That's such a nice story, and I need to hear the story, and I don't know if there is one, but the name. So as soon as you joined the membership group, I had a couple of messages like, Three Bellies? People were like, Three Bellies, what a great name. So if there's not a story, Ian, you've got to make one, because I need to know why.
I mean, there is. I mean, anybody who knows our family knows that we're quite a sarcastic family that can have a joke and takes the joke out of everybody else, or the rip out of everybody else. And my kids' nickname for me when they started seeing me going cycling in Lycra was Three Bellies. And since I started cycling a few years ago and I gave up football, I became known as Three Bellies in the family.
I mean, I'm laughing at the name here, but I'm not going to lie to you. I am also slightly giggling at a grown man jumping into Lycra and going about. I'm with you.
Exactly, and it's pity. I should have worn it. So since then, he's actually printed us some Lycra cycling shirts with Three Bellies on it. And some friends and I were actually due to go to Mallorca in May, just cycling for a lads' long weekend, and I've had some printed ready for that. And the idea is we'll take a photograph of how many bellies it is, fat old blokes in Lycra. So I mean, it's funny to us, but yeah, everybody, they call me Three Bellies here. That's
it's a very different kind of lads, chaps weekend away. All of a sudden, you're a distiller, so we're still going in Lycra, we're still going on the bikes, but there's a bottle of gin in the back with cans of tonic. Best thing ever on.
Exactly. So that's it. And and I didn't really know anything about it in terms of a brand until Adam turned up. He works in social media and PR, publicity, and he's got a friend he works with. She's a super talented designer, and actually presented me that even before the kind of company was born in an original, and I'll maybe share it with you one day, original line on the one. And that was when I was still making it just for fun. He decided that that would be a decent Christmas present, to buy me a dozen bottles and have these original Three Bellies labels on the bottle, and that's how the brand was born. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
So when it was going out to your friends, you were just making it for fun, and you wanted to still,
Yeah.
and the queue outside your front door was getting a bit longer, and you to that bit more frequently. It didn't have a name. It was just, what was it, like Ian's Gin? Like
it was just Three Bellies Gin. That was it. The original thing is Three Bellies Gin. And a blue and white label. And if I'd have been prepared, I'd come and brought you the original.
I'll tell you what, do us a deal. Put the original on the Sip and Share members.
I will.
That would be to see.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll probably save that one for the original gin that I designed, that I still like, that my wife hated because it had star anise in it. So I'll probably use that for the original one.
Right. So wait a second. Whoa there. We've got the Three Bellies Classic Dry Gin, which I'll be honest, I absolutely love this. I really, really like this one as well. And I kind of want to. I wish I had two glasses, but I don't. This one, but this isn't your original.
No, so I have one, if you like, a few. For any of those people who are trying to make gin, and I encourage everybody to do it. I'm more than happy to. I had a couple of small lab stills. I've given one away to somebody just to try in some base. Now I've got another one. I'd love to do it, because that's how I got started, and tips, and I've been to. I was in Denmark with work and a distillery there, and just asked the guy about some stuff that I was struggling with. So, I'm happy to do that. The very first real one that was replicable, and that's the biggest problem you have when you're just distilling a liter, is the mix is so small, getting everything to replicate. But the original one, I had star anise, which I love. I love aniseed. I really do. And I thought, this is great. And then my friends like it. My wife started to pull up her face at it, saying, I don't like that. It's got aniseed in it, and then I find out she has this connotation from being 14 in Greece on holiday and waking up sick as a dog for 2 days on ouzo. So that one, I decided if I was going to do anything with this business, then I better not make stuff that she doesn't like. So
that's a good. If you're sticking with the lycra, Ian, if we're sticking,
exactly,
let's make something the wife likes.
Exactly. So that's how we started with that one. And I really like some of the Spanish gins and that style. We spent quite a bit of time over the years in Spain and various places, and I like the style that they have. And obviously, in the south, there you get all the citrus peels from Seville and those kind of things. So even nice the proper Larius and the original stuff is actually really nice. It gets a bad rap, but it's good. So I went down that route because that's very much I like. So we've got 6 different types of citrus peels, in there, and that's very much that style you find from those local communities, and that I find is a nice base to do cocktails, nice gin. And then as I get cleverer, hopefully I'll develop some different things or whatever, and a bit more experienced.
I was going to say, for a chap that's a chemist, I think I heard you say earlier, by that's your normal job, is it? I reckon you're not going to get much cleverer. I'm going to give you that.
No, so I think the weighing, the weights and measures and the replication bit, that's the easy bit, but you still got to have a decent palate that you can taste, and that's the other thing that you then, when you make stuff, you just need to give it away and get some feedback from other people, because after a while your palate changes a lot, and depends what you're trying to do. So and so we're just traditional at the moment, very traditional London style gin. London style, and that's what we want. And I really want to do things where people can just take them where they want, so we want to keep them all pretty natural, nicely sourced, ethical botanicals and various other things. And then I'm a traditionalist kind of person, so I have no problem with fruities and this, that, and the other. It's not my style, but I'll let people do that. Or if my son ever gets around to making any, he can do that, right?
I was just going to say, in terms of kind of the creative execution, or rather the ideas, actually, because I guess you're doing the execution, but does your son share the same, and your wife actually share the same values when it comes to the types of spirits that you want to make, or are they like, try this and try this and try this, or are they just not involved now, leaving you to do what you want to do?
Yeah, I think they just think I'm locking myself away in that shed, and they're glad that I'm out of the way and not hassling them. So just see what I come out with and leave it at that. And
walk out in your lycra with your branded equipment on, and then get back in the shed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing I've done is I've made sure that the two current formulations are up there on the cloud. So if I get run over by a bus tomorrow, then at least somebody's got it.
Well, of all the things was to be concerned about, he's gone, but his recipe's still here. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God he's here.
The person I do turn into, I've got a neighbour and a friend a couple of doors down, and he works for Lakeland Distillery.
Wow.
He's worked in the industry for a long time, so he's a nice person to chat to. But he's also my go-to sort of person now. What do you think of this? Yeah, what do you think of this?
Passing minis over the fence.
They knock on the door and they say, "I'll swap your bottle of my gin for a bottle of yours, but what do you think of this one?" You know, that's how it works.
Well, just whilst we're talking about gin, you have just kindly said this is just gone on the shop tonight. I'm really sorry, members. I thought it was already on. It's my fault. And I think the lovely Lorna has got it on. And you've kindly said you've got 6 of these where you can give us a free glass as well.
Yeah, so you can take your normal discount, and I'll pop one of the glasses in there. If you can see that, that's there with our nice little logo from our talented designer.
We got it. And I want to see some pictures of people holding their gin and their glass in their like lycra sport. Maybe that's a bit far, but yeah. So thank you so much for that. So 6 bottles of the Cloud, which is 40%, 70 centiliter bottle with.
And for anybody who sees me over the next few months, spring and summer, on my bike, if they get a picture of me in that, then I'm sure I can give them a free bottle if they post a free picture of me.
I love it. Did your son set you up to this as a social media campaign?
No, it's not. No, it's no. I'll probably. I'm if I've not got text messages now from him or whatever, I'll be getting a rundown afterwards to tell me how terrible that was, and I'm doing all the things that he tells his clients not to do, probably, or you know. So.
Leslie has just asked, is there a glass, or is there any chance of a glass with the 3 bellies? I think she's got her eye on the 3 bellies.
Oh, I'm sure we can find the odd one with that. We've just I will do something with the original Kate, but we just had a real. I mean, the great thing about this sort of partial reopening that's coming and people getting a few weeks' notice, we had quite a few restaurants who tried it or who were about to order just before the sort of last lockdown came, and quite a lot of them have come back and asked, ready for that. And because we only launched the Cloud at Christmas time, actually, they've never seen that, so they're all sort of ordering the other stuff. So I just don't want to disappoint people at the moment, but. You know, the Cloud is a real favourite with a lot of people, and considering it's just word of mouth, the sales have been great on that. So we will come back. We will come back in April once the bigger still is in finally, and we'll come back with something. And once our German colleagues have worked out how to send bottles to the UK again after Brexit.
Everybody's struggling with that, so thank you. And the most important thing is that you're making that right choice and supporting the hospitality sector, who are starting to see the lights and reopen. And I think I want to find a way that we can do that. We can do stuff with them to get.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits of this, if there's one thing, and it's been disastrous for that sector. Whenever I've interacted, and you know, I've never worked in hospitality and selling, you know, into trade and things like that. But as I go around and we talk to these people, you can see a lot of the bars and restaurants that are left and open. I think they recognise the local community a lot more. You know, that people have supported them even in a little way with takeaways and this, that, and the other. And what they say, what you can see how many more are reaching out to local suppliers and things like that, saying, "Oh, I want to keep the local theme going." So, you know, here again, Chorley, Lancashire West, Lancs, where we are, we truly, trying to support that as well as much as we can, and that's good for our business and good for promoting them. And we're trying to do a little bit more with the social media side because I've got somebody who can work with them then to boost something. So hopefully, for a lot of businesses like us, that's a great way. And I think with the distillers that you have in here as well, there is a great community among distillers, and often bars, if they're looking to extend their gin range, they're not just looking for one or two. So that's the nice thing about what you're doing. As I get to drink some of the others that I've never tasted, those are others that we can recommend to these bars, because that's the great thing. We don't want just one or two gins behind the bar. We want 10, and we want those 10, 12, 15 in lots of different places. So
absolutely. And I really want to, as the world opens up, with hospitality, I want to do stuff. So if you have a pub that you want to do a feature and some cocktails with the pub, and that's why we're here. We're here to do that sort of fun stuff. Say to everyone, like, let's do some fun stuff with the pubs, with the cocktail bars, with the restaurants. Let's help people get to it and raise awareness of all the stuff they're doing as well. So hopefully, we can do more fun things. It's not just about, and there'll be a tour. There'll be a sip and share tour at some point.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, that'd be a great little map and giveaway and whatever. I mean, we've had calls about, can we come and to your visitor centre? That was one call that we had. It was very funny. Well, the visitor centre is I can show you pictures. Just a big shed at the end of the garden. That's the visitor centre, right? But you can come and I'll open a bottle and we can sip it. That's not a problem, right? But it was true. Have you got a visitor centre and can we come?
Your son's there making a leaflet. Come on in.
So but no, and I think there's some nice. I mean, I've already had some from yours, and that's the great thing about the gin world. It is a really nice community. The craft distillers. I've not had a bad comment from anybody that you're starting up and it's a crowded marketplace. It's welcome here and welcome there. And it's a business for us, but it's a hobby. It's a fun hobby, and it's the kind of thing that I think might get me through proper retirement. But I love it, and I've just really enjoyed the challenge of it. And I'm looking forward to what the next year will bring now.
Right, Ian, we've got somebody who is saying, so a couple of orders have come in, I've just glanced at the phone, and someone's saying, I don't know which to get. Now, in the absence of the obvious answer, which is both, by the way, in case it wasn't clear, what, and we don't know what they like, because it just says Facebook user, just give us a little synopsis of both of them. Like, let's just, the differences between them.
Right, yeah, so Three Bellies, the original classic dry London dry, a very dry, soft taste. With the first taste you get is a lot of the citrus peels, so you get that sweetness, and then as you finish tasting it, you get then the spiciness and the bitterness of the juniper coming through as the sort of aftertaste. So it's really nice. My wife and some of her friends love that with a kind of Mediterranean style tonic. I go with a classic tonic, but that Mediterranean style, and really nice for nice cocktails. So in some of the Zoom tastings and fun things we've done, we always try and start with a cocktail, and I'll always make it with that to start. So it's great. It's just a very drinkable one. And then the Cloud is, I think I once said to you, it's a bit like the Three Bellies Classic, but on steroids. It's a slightly bolder flavour. You'll still get that sweetness to start, but you get more pepper and more bitterness towards the end. You've got more juniper in there, and then you've got this hawthorn, which gives it this unusual taste. A lot of people prefer one or the other and don't switch between the two. And obviously we have customers who started on Three Bellies and have gone to the Cloud, since we've been doing that at Christmas, and won't go back. And then I've had a few other people who say, it's nice, but I'm going to go back because I like the other one just as that drinkable one that I know I'm just going to get a nice drink. I'm not going to upset myself going in different places with it, if you don't know what I mean.
I know. I mean, I don't know if you're ever going to do a Native Strength, but I can imagine I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, and I enjoy Navy Strength, and I enjoy a Plymouth Dry. I don't know if you know Batch Distillery up here in Blackburn Hall, and the Batch 55, the original one, that is really great, and that's always one that if we do some like we do at the weekend, a Zoom tasting with a sort of blind element with a few people, I always like to throw Batch in there, because if people like Navy Strength, and if you do and you like a Plymouth Dry, the Batch one I love. So yeah, I mean, I often, when I'm trying to taste originally, I was told by the people who taught me how to make it that I should always try and taste it pretty much as it comes off the still before you dilute it, and I can get it down to 55, and I can put that on ice, and I can drink both of those. You're right. Yeah. It's a good thought. Now I'll thank you for that. I'll have a think about that. I might just make you a next batch I'm making. I might just make you a 55 to try or whatever, right?
I said it, Ian. That's the only that I would never say anything like that. Yeah. I can imagine with the cloud. Definitely. Leslie has just said, please could you post a couple of cocktails in the group? I think she's.
Oh yeah, definitely. So my wife's the cocktail person. So there's a really nice one that we did with a Zoom tasting. We've been to a couple of times with lemon curd, which I would never have had. So lemon drizzle cocktail, which is very nice. And then we have a Zoom tasting on Friday. I'm forgetting which days we're up to these days. On a couple of days from now, and in that one we've got a blackberry Collins, or which is very nice. Both of those I like, because you'll dilute them with soda, but we try to porn star them up a bit and put prosecco in there if people want. So we leave that up to them. So we're calling Fridays a Blackberry Joan Collins, because that's where you've got to put a bit of champagne in there to line up. So
to be in this Friday Zoom thing that you keep talking about, like with a porn star cocktail and blackberry.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask your lovely wife, send Ian the cocktails, get him in the group, because I can see the people have thought of. I know Leslie has specifically referenced your gin because she wanted to buy it because she's got a party. What party, right. Leslie? We all need to go to, and I think she's looking for cocktail inspiration using.
Okay. Yeah, so we can do that. We actually last week we had a fun night. We did it for some family and friends, and we did it in aid of boot-out breast cancer for my late mother-in-law. And we had a comedian come along, which was great. He was super funny. But we played cocktail bingo, and that was interesting. So everybody they had to pick from the 49 recipes of cocktails. They had to pick one. And we had a bingo card calling out the different cocktails, and you got extra points if yours was picked, and you also got deductions if you were clever enough to look at your bingo card and make one of the cocktails on your list. You got a points deduction. So again, it was just a bit of fun, a bit different than the normal quiz night or whatever. So
I feel right. So I'll be honest, Ian. Your next job, in addition to like your job making is to host a sip and share in Three Bellies cocktail bingo.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I mean, we're all bringing our Three Bellies and some cocktail ingredients, and we're doing it. That would be great fun.
Yeah. So some of them include making your own syrup. So that's also fun. So my wife started making syrup, which and of course, so we're making that for this week, getting everybody's syrup out to them. So that was fun. So I'm sure you can buy syrups online, no problem, but we decided that we'd have a go at making some. So we can definitely do that. And I think the nice thing about the cocktail list, there's some unusual ones in there, but even if people are not big let's say gin drinkers or whatever, there's plenty of other there's plenty of other things in there. So I mean, there was one that was a beer and gin cocktail, which for one of the people who doesn't drink gin, but he seemed to enjoy putting gin into his beer and calling that a cocktail. So
you needn't worry. they very much are. I mean, I call them heavy drinkers behind the back, but we don't do that. I actually call them gin monsters. So Sip and Share. Leslie said dress code lycra. I mean, I'm going with a yes, Leslie. Ian's in. We know that.
Could be right. Yeah, that could be.
Three Bellies lycra. Yeah, Wendy. Three Bellies bingo. We're in. Let's do this. April. Yeah. April. We're having a party.
Yeah, we'll go for it. Yeah, no problem.
Right then. So I know some orders have come through. So that's
lovely.
Awesome. Yes. And thank you for the kind of free glass thing that you've referenced. That's very kind of you. These are, I presume lovely Lorna got it sorted for me. I'm going to guess that she did. So the Cloud and the Three Bellies. Yeah. And thanks so much. And thanks for kind of commenting on the group and actually joining and being part of it.
No, you're welcome. And thank you for Gin 1 as well, which was very nice. Have you sold them all?
There's 22 left or 23 left.
Oh, right. Well, I should have realised I should have put some of those in the blind tastings for Friday. I'll do that for the next one, I think, then. But no, you should definitely buy some. If people are listening that haven't bought some, definitely go ahead. I'll get some more.
Oh, thank you. Well, I reckon, yeah, in the future, let's do a Three Bellies house Sip and Share. Let's do it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right then. Let's leave it for the evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. I've enjoyed every minute.
Absolutely right. See you later, everybody. Have a nice Wednesday evening. The rest of your week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.